Hey, how's it going everyone? This is the Anime Man. Now I'm going to be straight up with you all. The one thing I think that really makes for a good anime series is the way that it ends. No matter how good an anime series is, if it ends in a terrible way or it ends in an unsatisfactory way, then I deem it to be less good than I had previously thought while I was watching the series. And now a lot of people think that for an anime to have a good ending, it needs to have a solid ending. Like, it needs to be like, here it is, here's how it all ends, done. But in fact, there are anime series out there that don't end in a solid way and more of in an ambiguous way, but are still some of the most fantastic anime endings to ever be created. So today, I'm gonna give you guys my list for the top 5 anime series with ambiguous endings. Now, since we are dealing with endings here, major spoiler alert. Like, if you guys don't want to be spoiled in any of the 5 series that I'm going to give out today, then just go ahead and close this video, guys. Please don't hate on me. I did give you a warning, so don't complain about spoilers. If you guys still want to watch this video, then I will try to give out as little spoilers as I can, but since we are dealing with anime endings, like the way that a series ends, might be a little bit impossible at times, but I'm gonna do my best. At number 5, we have Code Geass. Now, Code Geass is one of those series where there is a lot of metaphorical value to it. Like, the entire series pretty much is about power and insanity and revenge and all these kinds of very sophisticated and psychological themes. And in one of the final scenes of Code Geass, you can see a masked figure, possibly Zero, who is riding a cart, as you can see right here. But then there are a lot of theories. Is it actually Zero who is driving the cart? And if not, who is it? At number 4, we have Elfen Lied. Now, I've talked about this in a number of top 10s and top 5s lists that I've done because this is possibly one of the most cleverly created anime series. And one of those many reasons is the way that the series ends. Now, the final scene of Elfen Lied shows the grandfather clock that is within the main protagonist's house suddenly coming to life the moment he sees a shadow behind the door. Now, judging from the shape of the shadow, a lot of people think that it is in fact Lucy, but there are a lot of theories as to who that might be. Is it Lucy or is it another Diclonius? We don't know since it's just the shadow, but as a lot of people think that it might be Lucy, we're just left wondering as to who it might be. It's ambiguous but solid at the same time, and the way that it is structured and the way that it is shown to us is just done so cleverly, and I definitely think this deserves the number 4 place. At number 3, we have Fully Cooley. Now, this series in its entirety is ambiguous because you watch it the first time around and you'd be like, what the flying fuck did I just watch? But then the series just gets crazy and crazy and crazy the further episodes you go into it. And it's only a 6-episode series, but it feels like a full-on 12 or even 24-episode series just from the amount of shit that happens within each episode. And the ending is also very ambiguous, much like the rest of the series. Like, there are a lot of theories as to who Haruko might actually be and what she represents, what each of the characters represents, and overall what the story was about. That amount of ambiguity juxtaposed with just the fantastic reception and the fantastic execution of the entire anime series just puts it in its number 3 place, and I definitely think this is one of the very few 10 out of 10 series for me. At number 2, we have Serial Experiments Lain. Now, again, this is another series that is completely a what the fuck did I just watch anime, but is also highly cleverly created. Much like Fully Cooley, Serial Experiments Lain is very arty, it is very avant-garde, and it is very ambiguous. The entire series is pretty much just a huge metaphor for our society changing to suit the online world. Now, there are a lot of theories as to what Lain actually is, even though it is partially described throughout the series. There is a lot of theories as to what she might actually be, how she got there in the first place, who made her, what happens after the end of the series, and just what happens to society in general. I think this series was really clever too because it really touched on a lot of human themes, but it also touched on a lot of digital themes, like how us humans and other beings on the internet, so-called, are kind of merging together slowly to become this weird mesh of reality and digital. Either way, guys, if you want to go on like a huge mind trip and mind blow and just absolutely get your mind fucked then I really suggest this series. And the number one anime series with the most ambiguous ending is, you've probably all guessed it, Neon Genesis Evangelion. I am a huge fan of Evangelion ever since it first came out, and I remember the first time I watched the ending to the TV series, I was just sitting there just dumbfounded, like, whoa. Where are we? If you guys have seen the ending to the original TV series of Neon Genesis Evangelion, then you know what I'm talking about. Especially the last 2 or 3 episodes. It's just this huge mind trip through each of the characters, how they interacted, and it's just a completely different anime series. Now, a lot of people got pissed off with the ending to the original TV series, but then they kind of covered it, they kind of covered it up with 2 of the movies that followed later on, which showed different endings. Now, there are a lot of questions that arose when everybody saw each of the different endings. First of all, which one is the real ending? Like, what actually happened and what didn't happen? And also, why they decided to end both the TV series and the movies in that fashion. Neon Genesis Evangelion, I think, gets my number 1 spot because not only does the ending kind of bring about a new feeling of, oh shit, I gotta watch the series again or the movie again just to figure out why it ended like that. But also the way that it was presented was just totally psychological and really made you think. It was great brain food as to, you know, why were the characters driven to this ending and why did it end like this? Anyways, that's it for my list of the top 5 anime series with ambiguous endings, guys. Did you agree or did you disagree? And if you haven't watched any of these series, then let me know if you like to watch the series. Maybe not. Do you guys like ambiguous endings or do you prefer solid endings? I want to know all that shit in the comments below. Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. As always, like, if you enjoy, subscribe for an anime banner. See you guys next video, whatever I make. Keep watching anime. Ciao,